Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm really thrilled that you're here. Hey, we had a good time last week with the Tea with Monty. I can't believe the response and the comments I received on that. It's been extremely positive. Somebody even suggested that I should be putting in my title Tea with Monty Q&A, and I will be doing that in the future, so you know it's a question answer time. It's a lot of fun interacting with my subscribers, and I get a big kick out of that. And so please comment. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your instructions and giving me guidance, because you know this is all new to me. Building guitars isn't necessarily new, but working here on YouTube, that's a whole different story. So it's a process, and I'm getting there. All right, this is a form, and this form is for an OM guitar. A dreadnought guitar is a great big thing, right? A dreadnought guitar is a great big thing. So this is a smaller guitar, and this form comes apart. If I just simply do this, we can take this apart so that we can measure the wood. Now what I've done is I've taken a piece of tape. You can see that tape right across there. It's green. Now that green tape goes from this tip to this one, and it's nice and flush all the way through. And because this is made of plywood, there's 4 sheets of plywood, I made this form. I'm able to follow one of the grains of the plywood to make sure I'm not cockeyed, but that it's straight, and that makes a difference. So what we're going to be doing here is with this form, and you got to be careful when you put this together, because I did make a little mistake the other day. And that mistake was I pinched the fat part of my hand in here, and in a word that would be classified not good. So there we go, we're back together, and that's where we're going to have our guitar shaped there. We're going to have this thing fastened to the bench. We're going to be using it a lot. So that's the form. We'll get that out of here and I will show you again. Now this stick where I've got the green tape, because I know that the side is going from there to there, thumb to thumb, that's how long it's going to be. Now on this side, just to show you, and the only reason the green tape is here because I didn't bother to take it off, I've got marks all across here, and these marks center where it is that the waist is on the guitar. This is the length of that cutaway. When you have a guitar here that's all cut away like this, that's the length of the cutaway piece. This is the length of the piece that comes up to it. So this thing tells you a whole lot. And we have the waist marked on this as well. So we're all good to go. Now, what we do is we transfer the information from that stick over here to the top. These are the sides that we were looking at last week. Now, what I did is I have marked these pieces with a white pencil here. I just simply do this, and that tells me that in the event that I did this, I could say, oh, that doesn't line up. There's the match book side. So this is the book match piece. This is what I want. And this is what we decided on our last video, what we should be doing. So what I do, because it is so easy to make a mess on the side, is that I actually take and draw an arrow and I mark it front. And you can see that right there. I've got that marked front. Now, the reason for that is the front of the guitar is where the top is. The back of the guitar is back here. Now, this is going to be the front on top. So it's bending over like this and around. This piece is going to be the bottom. And so it's going to be bent this way so that when it goes, it's coming down and up and around that side. That way, what happens is the 2 pieces of wood are going to line up top to bottom so that we have this pattern that we can see here flowing on each side of the guitar, and you don't have one on one side and then something different on the other. That's all, and it's worth noting because That's a mistake that's made all the time. I've made it, other people have made it, and will make it again in the future, but hopefully I won't. Now, what I also do is I mark the end that is the neck. I mark the end that is the tail. Now, let me just show you over here. I have 2 blocks, and the neck block is going up here. So I can see I've got lots of room, but these aren't as wide as I'd hoped they'd be, because what I wanted to do was initially rip off a piece of wood that would be maybe 3/16, no, maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. And if I could get 4 of them, then I would use that for binding, but there's just not enough room, because this is the tail block, and as you can see, if I put that flush, I've got extremely little wood left there once that's plain. So I'm going to have to come up with a different set of bindings, and I'm thinking some ebony would look really nice with this. So that's the 2 blocks we use, the tail block and the neck block, which I have already cut, drilled, put holes through, marked centers on the top, centers on this, so we're all set to go. Now, by the way, you do that is simply use this square piece again. They don't sponsor me. What's wrong with you, Lee Valley? And you do it like so. You draw your line, and now you know exactly where you are, because you want the center of that hole lined up and you want it straight. Now, this is another product that I use, and I don't always use this, but I will be on this because it's rosewood. This is a product from a company that does not sponsor me. It's called Super Soft 2. I will spritz this onto the wood, both sides, and then I will hang the wood up like so, and let it dry for a while. It'll be hours hanging up there. It could be 12 hours, something of this nature. The reason for that is that this chemical will go into the cells of this wood and whatnot. It won't damage the wood in any way, shape, or form. It's perfectly okay. But what happens here is that it will cut like a hot spoon going through soft butter. I mean, it's amazing how easy this is going to go through here and cause us to bend. And we'll get to that as soon as we can. Now, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to run it through the thickness sander, bring it down to about 85 thousandths of an inch, and that should be enough to make this thing just to bend like crazy, so it shouldn't be an issue. So that's all stuff I have to do after I turn off the camera, take down the lights, get rid of the microphone that's over me, because I don't want all the camera equipment covered in sawdust. That's another thing that is absolutely not good. So that's it for me today. Now, if you have not yet subscribed, why not? I mean, come on. You should be here. You really need to get on board. Please come and join us. This is great fun. We had a great time last week with Tea with Monty. So come on back and let's get together. Well, that's it for me today. So thank you very much for joining me. By all means, I would like you to subscribe, kick that bell right through the goalpost of heaven. Just hammer that sucker as hard as you can, and you'll be notified when we put up a new video. And would you be so good as to pass on this video and some other videos that we've done to some of your friends, people that you know in music stores and whatnot? The more people hear, the better. I got to tell you, I read your comments and I try to comment back as much as I can. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back, but I usually get back to everybody. In the center of the YouTube page is a section called Community. And I've been writing a number of articles in there, and people seem to be enjoying those articles. So I invite you to go there, read those, comment, and let me know what you think. If there's a topic that you'd like me to cover, write me, let me know, and I'll write on it. I've had a number of you ask me to adopt you, and I would be happy to do that. I just have to talk to my wife first. And yes, we're going to have some English breakfast tea, but I don't have my tea with me here. Can you believe it? It is actually not here. The reason for that is because I'm going out with my wife for a lovely cup of English breakfast tea. So I've saved it to be with her. That's why I've done that. All right, so we're all good. You subscribed, you hit the bell, you know what's happening, and next time we're going to get together, you're going to see us working on the sander. We're going to have a good time, and I'll bring up in the forms and the bending machine, and you'll see how all of that works. So that's it for me today. Thanks very much, and I appreciate you all very much. Bye for now. See the pencil lines? Gone here, but still here. What I need to do now is I've got a little mark on one of the sides here. It's always good to know where you're starting. Oh wow.